and start the reloading process. There you see.
There's that horse heading back. And once again, we say it all the time, and you've heard it in the disappointment for Alex Achard, the 34-year-old Frenchman, about to make his Kentucky Derby debut, not raised in this sport. The parents of Achard were involved in show jumping in France, and he's transitioned to becoming a successful jockey, and his Derby debut denied because of Great White acting up before loading in the gate. We say this all the time. You've heard it in the walkover interviews. You always wonder how they're going to react, because the horses never go this distance, they never run in a field this big, and they never, ever run in front of this many people.
And never will again.
Unless they're on the Derby card next year as a 4-year-old, right?
Exactly. Yeah. On the undercard. Right.
And so, Jerry, you have to be very careful and patient, try to understand that jockey-horse relationship that we talked about before, the humans and the horses, so important at a time like this.
It's a fine line, Mike. You want them ready. When they walk into that starting gate, you want to warm them up to the point to where they're ready to run when the gates open, but you don't want them too nervous because you never know what's going to set a horse off. You could be in the gate and another horse act up and set your horse off.
And Mike, when a horse flips like that and lands as hard as he did, there's really no time to do a proper veterinary examination, so they err on the side of caution and take him out.
So now it is a field of 18 to run in the Kentucky Derby. And those odds rated at the moment have 3 co-favorites, Renegade, So Happy, and Further Ado. There you see them. They take Great White to the bottom, scratched. Denon Bourbon and Potente are the 2 that were right before Great White. So now they'll go back through the process, double loading, some of the horses needing 2 to handle and get in there and push them from the back with locked arms. Now they seem to be loading pretty smoothly. We'll keep a close eye as 6-speed, perhaps some of the early speed in this race loads in as well. And Further Ado currently sitting as co-favorite 5-to-1 odds. There you go, the locked arms to get him in there. 7 more horses to load. As the tension and the energy build. The Golden Tempo walks for a moment before being assisted into the starting gate. Okay, they are almost set, so let's go for the call of the 152nd Kentucky Derby to the great Larry Colmes.
All right, thank you, Mike, and we're just about set. Last few, Japan's Wonder Dean moving into the starting gate, along with Ocelli, who's never won a race in his life. Incredible moves into line, and that will lead Long Shot Robusta to the outside stall. Robusta steps forward and in, all in line and ready for the start. They're in the Kentucky Derby. Renegade getting bunched about on the inside. He did get in a little bit of traffic. Wonder Dean goes out to the front with 6-speed on the outside. And Denon Bourbon is up close with So Happy as well. So it's these 4 to set the pace. Then Emerging Market, Pavlovian to the outside. Potente and Litmus Test along the rail. Break of 2 to Further Ado, who's in between Chief Wallaby and Robusta. 3 to Intrepido and Incredible. And then Commandment, who finds himself about 10 lengths off the lead. Then it's a big gap back to Renegade, who was in a little bit of traffic there on that first turn. Ocelli is next. And then come the 2 trailers, Albus and late running Golden Tempo. So onto the backstretch they go here in the Kentucky Derby. 6-speed is expected, setting the pace of 46.44. Opening half mile here. The lead is 2 lengths. So Happy and Japan's Denon Bourbon heads apart. Second and third, Wonder Dean is 4th in behind them. Litmus Test is 5th along the rail. In Emerging Market, Pavlovian. Further Ado is in behind them. Further Ado about 7 lengths behind under John Velasquez. And then Potente down to the inside and Chief Wallaby. Commandment has 7 to make up. He's outside of Intrepido. Then Incredible. Renegade is in behind that group. He's on the rail. He's got 10 lengths to make up. As 6-speed and Denon Bourbon are 1-2 in the far turn. Mike Smith and So Happy are there to their outside. 2.5 back. And then down toward the inside comes Emerging Market as they make their way to the top of the stretch. Further Ado is getting going on the far outside in Commandment. They're both putting in their runs as they arrive into the final furlong. Ocelli is also gaining ground on the far outside as they come to the last 16th of a mile. Denon Bourbon in front. Ocelli a huge long shot. Renegade and Golden Tempo are closing too. Here's Golden Tempo, and Serene Devon.
first female trainer to win the Kentucky Derby. 44-year-old Sherry DeVoe conditioning golden tempo with a tremendous run down the stretch to win the Derby.
Golden tempo was so far last down the backside, he couldn't count that far. Renegade got in a little bumpy early in the race, but I thought he had every chance to win. I didn't think he got shoveled back too far. What an exciting race.
And Renegade from way, way back to come second, and Oselli out of nowhere, 70-1 shot, finishing third.